I'm calling for Canadians to take a different tack in this election and ask themselves some questions about competency and management skills. And so I'm going to be agnostic to party, but I'm going to make some points I think that every Canadian should consider, as I do. I'm a Canadian citizen. I'm going to be voting. If you look at what's happened to our country in the last 4 years, we have been extraordinarily unlucky, not only at the Prime Minister level, but if you look at the cabinet, the skill set of finance and foreign affairs, for example, it's been an unmitigated disaster. And I want to make a point that I think every Canadian should consider. And I'm doing my work primarily at colleges. I'm crisscrossing the country asking students to really consider what they should think about for this upcoming election in October. In terms of our country, let's just take the last 5 months,
right.
Okay? If you put a journalist in the role of foreign affairs with no diplomatic skills, I'm not trying to be harsh, I'm just going to speak the truth, and ask them to perform the very delicate role that takes a whole career in diplomacy to do, you're going to fail. And here's a good example. When Trump decided to up the ante with China and go into a full-fledged trade war with them, he must have been thinking this, and I'm speculating, but I don't think I'm wrong. If I get into a trade war with China, all the wheat we sell, all the materials, all the energy, all the wood, all the resources that China buys from us, they're going to cut us off. And where are they going to go? They're going to go to Canada. And they're going to create a huge amount of trade with Canada that I'm going to miss, particularly for my voting constituencies in the Midwest, the farmers, the pork, all that stuff. Here's what he did. He called up our foreign affairs minister. We don't know whether it was there directly, but generally that's how it goes. And then maybe you talked to the Prime Minister and said, look, the Huawei executive, the CFO, is going to land in Vancouver. She's only going to be there for 32 minutes. Arrest her. Now, if you had any tactical skills as a diplomat, what you would have done, which every diplomat would have done, is said, this is not good for us. I'm going to think ahead like a chess game. If we arrest her, the Chinese are going to cut us off. What do? We arrest her. What we could have done is simply called her flight and said, look, there's many reasons you shouldn't land in Vancouver tonight. Go land directly in Mexico City where you're going. But we didn't do that because we had the wrong person in the wrong job. And here's what happened. Within hours, the Chinese started to retaliate. They have cut Canada down to zero. And Trump played our minister like a fiddle and completely screwed our country.